The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the young Zorine diplomat raised all four of his crystalline appendages in what could only be described as exasperation. Ambassador Jixin Chen sat across the negotiation table, his weathered human face betraying nothing but polite curiosity. "Human Jixin," the Zorine named Velthar chittered, his translator rendering his frustration into perfect English. "You cannot be serious about these defense requirements. No species brings family members to war zones." Jixin leaned back in his chair, a slight smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Ambassador, with all due respect, you haven't met my daughter." As if summoned by those very words, the chamber doors hissed open. Anna Chen strode in wearing her standard-issue human military uniform, though she'd somehow managed to make the regulation gray look almost fashionable. At 23 standard years, she was young by human standards, practically an infant by Zorine reckoning. "Dad, we've got incoming," Anna said crisply, then noticed the assembled aliens. "Oh, sorry. Didn't know you were still in session." "Perfect timing, actually," Jixin replied. "Anna, would you mind giving our friends here a demonstration of standard human defensive protocols?" The Zorine delegation exchanged concerned glances through their multifaceted eyes. Velthar's skin shifted from diplomatic blue to alarmed purple. "That won't be necessary," he began. The station's alarm interrupted him, a low wail that sent the other species scrambling for cover. Anna's expression didn't change. She simply tapped her wrist display and pulled up a holographic tactical screen that materialized in the air before her. "Looks like 6 Krath Raiders, standard configuration," she muttered, fingers dancing across the display. "Dad, you want me to handle this or let station security take point?" "It's your call, sweetheart." Velthar watched in horror as this young human, barely more than a hatchling, coordinated the station's defensive grid with the casual efficiency of someone ordering lunch. Within moments, she had the attacking ships pinned in a crossfire pattern that would make the most seasoned Zorine admiral weep with envy. "Station batteries locked," Anna announced. "Firing solution optimal. Engaging in 3, 2, 1. The deck plates thrummed as the station's weapons came to life. Through the observation windows, brilliant lances of coherent light reached out across the void, each shot perfectly placed. The Krath Raiders, known throughout the galaxy as fearsome predators, scattered like frightened prey. "Hostiles retreating," Anna reported, then glanced at her father. "Should I pursue?" "Let them go," Jixin said mildly. "I think they've learned their lesson." Anna nodded and collapsed the tactical display. "Cool. In that case, I should get back to the kitchen. I've got cookies in the oven and they're probably about done." She paused at the door. "Anyone want some?" "They're chocolate chip, real Earth chocolate, not that synthetic stuff." The Zorine delegation sat in stunned silence as the young human warrior departed as casually as she'd arrived. Velthar's translator worked overtime to render his shocked chittering. She just repelled a Krath raiding party and now she's baking? Family recipe, Jixin explained. Her mother's, actually. Anna inherited her talents for both cooking and combat. He pulled out his personal data pad and brought up an image of a woman in her early 50s, standing in what appeared to be a military parade ground with a plasma rifle in one hand and a plate of pastries in the other. "This is Commander Sarah Chen, my wife. Retired now, but she served 30 years in the Terran Defense Forces." "Your mate is a warrior?" Velthar asked, his color shifting to confused orange. "Was. Like I said, she's retired. Spends most of her time these days running a bakery on Europa Station, though she still qualifies expert marksman every year just to keep her hand in." Jixin's eyes twinkled. "She vaporized an entire pirate crew that tried to rob her shop last year. Then she reopened the next morning and sold out of everything by noon. The local garrison still talks about her victory cake." The eldest of the Zorine delegation, a female whose name translated roughly to "she who questions wisdom," leaned forward. "Human Jixin, please help us understand. Your species brings children to war zones. Your warriors bake desserts. Your retired soldiers run shops but still eliminate threats. This makes no sense by any logical standard we know." Jixin stood and walked to the observation window, gazing out at the stars. "It makes perfect sense if you understand humans. We don't separate our lives into neat little boxes the way other species do. A human mother will protect her children with the same ferocity she uses to protect her home. A human soldier fights harder when they have something worth fighting for, and that's usually family." He turned back to face them. You asked why we want our families in the frontier stations. It's simple, they make us stronger, not weaker. They remind us what we're protecting. And as you just saw, they're pretty good at protecting themselves too. Anna returned then, carrying a tray laden with cookies that filled the chamber with an intoxicating aroma. She offered them to the Glorine delegates, who accepted hesitantly. Veltar took a bite and his entire carapace flushed with pleasure pink. This is remarkable. Thanks. Anna beamed. So, I couldn't help but overhear. You guys are setting up those new frontier stations, right? I was thinking my mom's getting bored on Europa. She'd totally love a new challenge. She could run the mess hall, handle station defense training, maybe organize some cultural events. She looked at her father with a mischievous grin. Plus, Dad could use some company out here. He gets cranky when Mom's not around. Jixin raised an eyebrow but didn't deny it. The Zareen delegation huddled together, their colors shifting rapidly through confusion, acceptance, and finally, resigned agreement. She who questions wisdom spoke for them all. Very well, human Jixin. You may bring your family members to the frontier stations, though we confess we still do not fully understand your species. Jixin smiled and took a cookie from Anna's tray. That's all right, Ambassador. Sometimes we don't understand ourselves either, but that's what makes us human. Outside the observation window, the stars shone bright and welcoming, ready for whatever came next, whether that was hostile aliens or the grand opening of the galaxy's best bakery. For humans, it was all part of the same adventure,